You know when in the Bible it says man fear God? No, man fear woman. That's what it's meant to be. Men are not meant to be narcissists. That is something that they stole from the dark feminine.
You need to be self-absorbed, self-centered, and narcissistic as a woman. Otherwise, you will continue to suffer in this life, and you will continue to suffer in relationships with men.
Make everything about yourself. Men only obsess over women who are obsessed over themselves. If you want a man to become obsessed over you, be obsessed over yourself, baby. Okay? Men are not on those pick-me-sha videos that are talking about, I'm a good woman and I cook and clean. Where's my man at? They're on the videos of those women that do 18 skincare steps in their little apartment making iced coffee. They all up in the DMs asking them for foot pics and all that kind of stuff. Because them women are self-obsessed, not catering to the male gaze or views, but still attracting them anyway because they're self-obsessed, okay? They're doing them, living their best life, unbothered. And here comes some men to bother them and become obsessed with them. So women who are self-obsessed attract masculine men who want to obsess over them as well. Put all the focus on you, your beauty, your skincare, your hair, your makeup, your wardrobe, your accessories, your everything. Become self-obsessed. Talk about yourself. Have projects going for yourself. Have goals for yourself. Keep going for yourself. Everything you do needs to be personalized. It needs to scream whoever you are. You need to do the most about you. You need to be obsessive. When anybody walks up to you, the only way that they can impress you is to be more obsessed than you already are with yourself.
Hello, my lovely gems. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, I'm Sapphire Love. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been refining yourselves. I know I have been. And if you're new over here, basically, it's all things self-refinement, divine goddess power, and spiritual alchemy. I know I made a video already about how men destiny swapped with women. So this is along the lines of that, but it's a trait that actually comes from us that they have now destiny swapped. And I did put some few hints on the community post. I put some pictures. One of you guys actually got it. Some of my gems were like, oh, is it about narcissism, self-absorption, narcissist, the story of the guy? You guys are so smart because basically, yes. So today we're diving into something that's probably gonna trigger a few people, but I don't care, okay? And by few people, I mean men. So men love to call women narcissists as if it's an insult, but that means that she's obsessed with herself. She loves herself. She cares for herself. Oh, she only cares about her look. She thinks she's better than everyone. No, we think we're better than you, which is correct. But here's my question. What if that's not an insult? What if that's actually how we're meant to be as women? What if women were designed to be self-obsessed because that self-obsession is divine, aka narcissism? And yes, when I talk about narcissism, I'm not talking about the psychological terms. I'm talking about the self-absorption, only thinking about you, always wanting more, or always putting yourself first, like not having empathy for them. Like this is how we're meant to be. You're not meant to have empathy for them. And they play on that empathy. And it's part of the patriarchy is them playing on your empathy. That's why they get back at women for like different types of women, like Shira 7, like even with me, like women will be like, oh, that's a bit mean. Why do we have to play tic-tac-toe? Why do we have to play these games? You still feel sorry for men. You're not meant to feel sorry for them. I thought we're meant to get over this in our teenage years, in our early 20s. Shit, latest your mid-20s. Late 20s, after that, especially in your 30s, you should not be feeling sorry for men. You should not be feeling sorry for men. And especially actually my ladies in your 30s, because you have more to lose if you're feeling sorry for men. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time and get out. Make sure to grab some tea. Got my notes. I'm ready. Let's get into it. Oh, before we get into this video, guys, I'd like to ask a favor. If you can please like this video, that way it helps push out the content, helps grow the community, and more gems can come in, more pretty bitches. Comment down below and also subscribe. It's free. Join the gem community. This download came to me while I was at work. I just had this realization that narcissism can be inherently divine, but when it comes to women. Okay, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Think about it. Every time we see a man that is a narcissist, it never ends well. It always falls apart. It always turns toxic. Like the empire is always going to collapse. They always end up dead. So men that are narcissistic represent the unbalanced solar principle in them. Okay? All ego, will, and pride and domination. The thing is, men don't have the lunar influence. They don't have the feminine reflection. See, this is why with women, we have that balance. Now, maybe some men, maybe if they're gay, but honestly, it's not something that they have, because women, as we know, we both have the masculine and the feminine combined together. That's why we can give birth to men, because we have it within us. We can give birth to women. So we are the divine. Men don't have this. And they also lack inner awareness. So they burn too bright and then they blind themselves from ego and they end up collapsing under their own fire. For example, Julius Caesar, he wanted to be a god. Literally. He ignored all warnings about betrayal. He was obsessed with his own image and his destiny, to the point he literally got stabbed by his own men. His own boys stabbed him because his ego blinded him to loyalty. Because his ego blinded him. When we look at someone like Adolf Hitler, he was convinced he was chosen to create a pure race. He had an obsession with control and being superior, which led to his own destruction and the fall of the Nazi in Germany. Even when we dive into spirituality, guys, the sun god Ra in Egyptian mythology, they say the sun god who grew old and paranoid, fearing humanity's rebellion, he sent Sekhmet, the lion goddess, to destroy humans, but she went too far. His pride led to near total annihilation of his own creation, even down to Zeus. In Greek mythology, Zeus couldn't control his desires, constantly chasing women, starting wars, causing chaos. His ego made him too unstable. Even when we dive into the Bible, okay? Lucifer, the morning star, the brightest angel, guess what? He fell because he wanted to be equal to God. His pride and need to be worshipped made him rebel, and that rebellion cost him heaven. Guys, how do we not know that they're trying to say men are Lucifer? Think about it. Would that not make men be Lucifer? Anyway, like when men are narcissists, like they will end up in crime. Like these are the type of men to be your trappers, your fraudsters. Like they think nothing can get to them. Like they think they're above the law. These men will probably end up people, because men are not meant to be narcissists. That is something that they stole from the dark feminine, divine feminine. And if you're new here, when I say dark divine, it's interchangeable with dark feminine, because the dark feminine is the combination of divine femininity and divine masculinity as well. And you have it combined. So that's how you become a master. That's what dark femininity is all about. It's returning back to your primordial essence, your primordial energy. I said this on my live, right? You know when they're like, which pill are you going to pick? The blue pill or the red pill? You're meant to pick both. It's a trick. You're meant to pick both. We're not meant to be imbalanced. We have to have both, especially as women. And that's why in the media, they'll push out just like the light feminine, they'll push that out. But then that also has problems. Then have you noticed, like, because they keep pushing out a lot of these light feminine, one of the traits is women feel like they always have to rely on men for. Men are like the portal to money. Men are like that. No, you're the portal to money as a woman. The men have to come through you to get wealth. So this is a psyop that they've been doing to make it feel like, oh, we need to go through man to get money. No, we don't. We have it inside of ourselves. Before I mastered my divine masculinity, now I'm someone I've always kind of had both, not gonna lie, because yeah, I've been kind of born this way. But when I started to master it more, I started to become less lazy. When you're light feminine, you live in your head. Like you're creative because it's that water, but you're missing the action and you're missing the doing. And this is what men want. Men want you to rely on them, to keep up the patriarchy, to marry them, even if they're rich men, marry rich men. Da, 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 da. No one's saying not to marry rich man. You can do everything now. You can start a business now. You can do content now. You can make your life now. Like you're lacking that fire. And this, honestly, it's deeper. This is not the point of the video, okay? So let's move on. So with men, it's all rooted in ego and control. That's it. That's how they operate. And when we are narcissists, how we're meant to be, that keeps us safe. But when a woman embodies what we call narcissism, it doesn't look the same. It looks like sovereignty. Okay, when a woman is actually like a narcissist, no, she's a boss. Narcissist or queen. So when a woman becomes self-absorbed, she's not just delusional, okay? She's actually returning to the truth that she is the mirror of creation. She's not just admiring herself, she's admiring the God force through her. Every time a woman is a narcissist, we win. Every time a woman is a narcissist, she wins. We always win. Every time we're stuck up, every time we don't take shit, every time we're self-absorbed, every time we don't feel sorry for people, every time we have this incredible self-belief, that is our superpower. That's why I think Law 38 of my book, confidence is the elixir to your power. Confidence is how you make it in this world. And that's why they have this whole agenda to ruin your self-belief, to ruin your confidence. And you see it everywhere with the beauty industry, the fashion industry, all these different standards that they continuously bring in, all these continuous like things they push in movies, in TV shows. It's to knock down your self-esteem, because being self-absorbed is your power as a woman. Remember when I would say, like, back in the days when we were a matriarch, we would be like a queen. Men will come to us with offerings. We would snuff their nose up at them. We would make the best man win. We would make the best man win. We would be like, well, okay, well, he's coming with better gifts, so I don't care. And now they want to use that on you. But they've always known that's how we operate. And because of that, that is why they introduce all these things like 50-50, all these things to make it easy for themselves. That's even why we invented men, because there was women on earth only before there was men. We created men just so we could get more things, so we could have more, so we could build more. That's why they're bigger than us. So we created them as our helpers, but not helpers as if like, oh yeah, they're the ones on top. No, we're the ones on top. We just created them because, and I'm gonna get into it in the video, we're never satisfied. Men can be satisfied. And when I say satisfied, remove sex. Remove sex from that equation when it comes to men. Men can never be satisfied because they need us to survive. They always need to enter the portal of God. They always need to enter the portal of God. They need us to align. They need us to come to God. They need women to find their purpose. We don't need that. Okay, so like they literally need to have sex with us just so they can survive. So yeah, they will never be satisfied in that. They will never be satisfied with women, because they're obsessed with us. We made them like that. We came here to be admired, but they've switched up the rules now. No, it was never that. You're here for us to take your energy. That's how it works. We take man's energy, not the other way around.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying my series, and we're talking about why romance is a form of psychological warfare that is used against women. And we are also talking about topic number 4. Topic number 4 is women are not meant to be caged. Women are not meant to be caged. For some women, I will go so far as to say women should be carefree. They should be like water just flowing. They should be wild. And some women deserve to be feral. I said it, feral. Let me tell you why I know this to be true. Marriage is an institution that binds women. And in order to allow that institution to exist, romance must be the bait, right? So we bait these women and say, listen to me. You should be loving me. You should be having children. You should be wanting a family. You should be wanting to be attached to someone. How dare you want to be alone and discovering and finding out who you are and intrigued with anything other than having a man and children, right? I tell people all the time that women are exposed to have freedom, and that freedom comes along with autonomy. And autonomy is a choice to be who you are whenever you want to be that person and switch up as you like. I say for myself that I can be feral. And I've seen other women be feral or wild or expressive or fun and free. And let me tell you how I know this to be true. Let a bunch of girls get together. There is no man around. There are no children around. The first thing they're going to do is be silly. They're going to turn up. They're going dooch, 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 dooch. Don't let us be at a club having ladies' night. Baby, the best thing a man can do is go that way. We are feral. We are wild. We are expressive. We are like water. Freedom and autonomy bother men. Why it bothers men, I'm really not sure. You know what? I know why it bothers men. Because men believe they are the only one who should ever be free and autonomous, who should be able to exercise their right, who should be able to love themselves, do whatever they want to do at a whim. And men hate to see women who by choice say, listen, I don't want to be tied down to you. I don't want to be tied down to none of your kids. I don't want to be tied down to your drama. I'm not interested in being a wife. I'm not interested in being a maid. I'm not interested in being a servant, because the emotional capacity and the lack of freedom that comes with that for a woman is stifling. And these roles are 24/7, 365, especially when you have children. And don't let your man be a man-child, baby. Women are supposed to be feral. Women are supposed to be wild. Women are supposed to be expressive. And romance has been used to insist on women being married or attached to a man and wanting to have his children. And if you decide something other than that, oh gosh, you are considered the worst of the worst. How dare you choose your freedom? How dare you choose to do what you want to do when you want to do it? I'm telling you, romance is psychological warfare. Because if you can capture the mind, you can definitely capture the body. And men capture the mind so they can have your body forever.
We are the receptive beings. We receive, not the other way around. Patriarchy is so deep. Not only have they put on these laws and this organized religion, but it's this destiny swap that they've done on the traits. Anyways, back to my point. Men can settle in anything. They can settle in like living with 5 men in one room, and as long as there's women around, they're good. They're good. Men settle all the time. Women were never satisfied. We always want more. Even when we have men, even when we have children, even when we have a husband. They used to make us feel bad about this, but no, it's your natural nature. It's how we're meant to be. Like, even when women have children, they always want more. They want a bigger house. They want to change up their kitchen. They want to do this. They want to do that. Da, 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 da. Like, we're always growing. We actually get better. We get better with age. And that's why they don't want you to think. They decline. They actually decline with age, and we get better. But that's a whole different video. Even when we get down to the story of narcissism, to the story on how narcissism began, it was a man. It wasn't a woman. Name me a goddess that has actually ruined her whole empire. Name me a goddess that narcissism, her being narcissist, okay, ruined her life, because I don't think so. Okay, actually, her being narcissist helped her get to where she want to be. Cleopatra being a narcissist, she had to be a narcissist to get to where she had to be. If you know her story, she had her brother and her dad, and they didn't really treat her well, and she was just like, enough is enough. And then you turn cold. Coco Chanel, I know I made the video on, I didn't even know before I made the video about the whole Nazi thing. I didn't even know about that. Coco Chanel, after I posted the video, which I didn't even know about, people were like, oh, Coco Chanel's not good. I don't agree with that. But like, do you see where she is now? Like, as a woman, she had to do that. Like, okay, not everyone is going to understand this. Okay, not everyone is going to get it. Okay, if you're an alchemist, you know. This is why alchemy is not for everyone, because morals aren't in alchemy. That's why they don't like to push it out there, because when it gets into the wrong hands, especially the wrong hands with men, it can be bad. But anyways, I didn't put this in a video. Coco Chanel used to, I said cabaret dancer, but apparently Coco Chanel used to be like a nightlife worker. She had the plan, but she needed the platform, and it worked. It worked. She had to get herself out of a situation. She had to turn cold. She was born an orphan. Her parents, she had no parents. She had no support. It was either get rich, die trying, that, or continue dancing. You have to turn on your dark femininity. But then the story you hear about how narcissism began, deep it. You guys have to be very intentional on history. Because what is history? His story. It's not about women. His story is the fake history that the patriarchy brought down here. Let me tell you where the story actually began. So where did the narcissist word even come from? The story of Narcissus is an ancient Greek myth about a young man who was so beautiful that everyone fell in love with him, but he rejected them all. One day he saw his reflection in a pond and became so obsessed with his own beauty that he couldn't look away. Eventually, he wasted away and died staring at himself. He died staring at himself. That story was written about a man, not a woman. I don't know about you guys, but I've never heard of a story where a goddess looks at herself in the mirror and she literally dies because she wasted herself away. No, that is what happens to men because they're not meant to be narcissistic. So when they're attractive man, it makes their narcissism worse. But when we do it, we actually love ourselves more. We actually feel like, okay, we demand more. And if you're a woman and you still feel guilty, you feel guilty about wanting things, you feel guilty about coming back to your original essence, the dark feminine, you feel guilty about not feeling sorry for men, you feel guilty to have more than one, then you're still under the conditioning. And you know what? Goddesses were the first narcissists, not Narcissus. The narcissism that women inherently have, that people would call narcissists, it just doesn't show up the same on us. Like, so I wouldn't even really want to call it narcissist, but for the point of the video, I will. But it's just completely being self-absorbed. Every woman is meant to be self-absorbed. You watching this right now, you're meant to be self-absorbed, especially when it comes to a man. You have to be self-absorbed. You have to not be satisfied. You have to not feel sorry for him. You have to only think about yourself. You have to only think about yourself. This is why you will find some men that love women that are self-absorbed, and men will call them simps. But I believe these men are actually the ones that can recognize a woman that actually has the divine source within her. This is why it's important to have that goddess energy, because this is how you're meant to be. A lot of men are going to be weeded out because they're insecure. They're bums. Like, when you actually have the dark feminine energy, people will hate you. Like, your exes will probably hate you. Like, my ex, he called me a gold digger. Like, I don't care. Like, he calls me evil. Like, I don't care. Like, I have to do what I need to do. Period. This is what they also would do with the Jezebel story. No, Jezebel, you couldn't do enough. She had to get the resources to do what she had to do. So look at mythology, look at art, look at the way goddesses were always portrayed. Self-contained, self-adoring, radiant. Oshun is always gazing into her mirror, dripping in gold, dripping in luxury and jewels. And the thing is, she's fully aware of her beauty. That's why you see not just her, but other goddesses holding a mirror. The story of the siren. These stories of the siren, Jezebel, they're stories of our true primordial power. But what do men do? They demonize it, and then they feed you something else that's meant to be a goddess. That's why I always say in my videos, do you know you're pretty? I hope you know you're pretty. That's why a lot of men don't want you to know you're pretty, because that's your power, is you knowing you're pretty. And then also, when I say like knowing you're pretty, what does that come with? Think about it. When someone knows they're pretty, it comes with something else. It comes with an energy. It comes with vanity. What is vanity? If someone is vain, how would they hold themselves as someone that's vain? So when I say pretty, it's not just, oh yeah, I know I'm pretty. Like, that's it. No. It's an energy. I've been saying this, guys. It's an inner and outer energy. And then when you know you're pretty, when you know you're self-absorbed, when you are, which is a knowing. Knowing, to know something and are is like the same thing. Not believe, because we don't have to believe. Believing leaves room for doubt. You know this is who you are. So act like it. When you know this is who you are, you as a woman now hold the power. Like you've always held the power. They know this. That's why I said they have to neg you immediately. They have to do something to knock you down immediately. Anyways, back to Oshun. So once again, Oshun is fully aware of her beauty. Like, people would call her vain, but that vanity is her power. It's the reason men and gods bowed down before her. I'm sure if you guys are spiritual, you probably know this, okay? The story of Oshun, when the men needed her because the river dried up and there wasn't enough water. So they disrespected her. They disrespected Oshun. And she didn't want to come there and speak. So what did she do? She held back her energy because she knew they need me. You need me. That's how a narcissist thinks. How does a narcissist think? You need me. That's why they say there's a lot of narcissists in business, because narcissism is linked to self-belief. But my idea of this narcissist word, really, it belongs to men. And okay, because I know someone's going to be in the comments about, like, what about women that kill men? That's not funny. What about women that kill men randomly? Like, you know, that lady, the famous lady? Let's not involve the psychopaths, okay? The psychopaths and the sociopaths, okay? Let's not involve them because that's a whole different thing. Like, once again, I want to clarify when I talk about this video, women are narcissists, women to men, not women to women. You're never going to get anywhere in life as a woman if you don't learn how to master your dark femininity. And if you don't master your dark femininity, you're going to start receiving resentment, feeling envy towards women that are dark feminine. Okay, then let's get into Erzulie Frida. Sorry if I pronounced her name wrong. Erzulie Frida is a Haitian Loa. She's a goddess in Haitian voodoo. With Erzulie Frida, in Haitian voodoo, she is surrounded by luxury, perfume, jewels. And people say she's demanding, that she's too much. She's always wanting more and more because she's never satisfied. But that's exactly the point. She is more. She is more. Women are more. We are the definition of abundance. We don't lack. We also carry that spirit inside of us. That's why I said men have to come through us to find God. That's why when you see men that get married or they find a good woman, a girlfriend, partner, they're like, oh, I needed her. I feel whole. I feel connected. Like, that's how they feel. But also, we don't need to go through a man to feel aligned. Like, no. Actually, some men can really misalign you. Actually, a lot of men can actually misalign you from your purpose. That's why they'll try to feed, oh yeah, your purpose is only having children. No, it's not. Like, that's not just your purpose. Every single person came down here and we said to God, he was like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And then we said it. We said who we want to be. And then when we come here, yeah, we will have the amnesia, but there's still things we're gifted in. But then some of you guys will be judging yourself in your gifts. Look, I've been there. I judge myself in my gift of dark femininity because being a dark woman, obviously I fell down the trap of, not the trap, I fell down spirituality, the craft. I've always been like that. My mom even said I was born with, in my culture, born with dreadlocks. Yes, I naturally have dreadlocks. My hair grows as dreadlocks. One of these days, I'm just going to let it grow out into locks, but I don't want to let go of the hair yet. I don't want to let go of my hair. I use a hot comb to straighten my hair today. Like, this is all natural hair because I'm growing my hair out. But sometimes my mom would have to perm my hair when I was a baby because it would grow as locks. They would always try to brush my hair. It would always go into locks. Anyways, so when children are born with dada, that's what they call it, dada hair. Like, I'm Igbo, they'll call it dada. Yorubas, I think they'll call it dada too. It means the child is born with great spiritual gifts. You even have to do a ritual to cut their hair off. So this is the path I came down to. But imagine if I continuously judge myself and I said, I'm embarrassed, I'm Nigerian, people are going to laugh at me, people are going to say I'm this, people are going to say I'm that. I don't care. Why? Because it's greater than me. It's beyond me. And also, who are you? Because I'm aligning myself to my destiny and to my purpose. A lot of you guys aren't. The people that are judging me, you're not even living your purpose. Before I was even born, my Ori, my higher self, okay, that's what it is, your higher self knew who you were. And during our life, we can get misaligned very easily. This is why it's important to always speak to your higher self. Always speak to your guardian angels. Always speak to your ancestors. Okay, I'm going into a whole different thing right now. Sorry. So back to Erzulie Frida. She is the goddess of excess. Like, she teaches that desire is sacred. Desire is sacred. You're meant to desire. It's okay for you to desire. I know in some cultures, they make it out to be bad, but the men can desire, but not you. Okay, then Kalima, which is like one of my favorites. Like, I love a good Kalima. Like, I've worked with Kalima. Yeah, she's a great protector. My protector. Ooh, my protector. Kalima is fierce and unapologetic. She's drenched in the blood of destruction, the blood of her enemies. People say she's cruel, too much, but she's just raw. Unfiltered face of divine feminine power. The raw energy that we have within us. Women can be very dangerous. Women can be dangerous, but it's a good thing. You know when in the Bible it says, man fear God? No, man fear woman. That's what it's meant to be. Yeah, because as we all know, God, the representation of God, okay, on earth is women, because Women give birth to men and women. Men can't give birth. Okay, we are the portal. We've been blessed from the Supreme to be the God on this earth. AKA, oh, you know when people say, oh, do you think you're a God? Like to Narcissist, do you think you're a God? Yes. Yes. That's how you're meant to act as a woman. Know you're a God. Act like a God. What are the traits of someone that has the God complex? What's the traits? Do that. And stop thinking that, oh, I'm scared that I'm going to be too egotistical. I'm scared that I won't be able to control my power. Good. Good. Feel it. That is the raw primordial energy moving through you, moving through your kundalini. That is the dragon inside of you. You're activating it. You're waking it up. Good. Release it. Release it. If it's too much, channel it. Now, this is where we channel. Channel it into something, into a creative. Every goddess the world feared or labeled as too vain, too angry, too much, was simply a reflection of the woman who refuses to shrink. It's simply a reflection of the woman that refuses to play small. This is literally why in the back of my book, I have, in a world that demands women to play small, How to Be a Bitch is a manifesto for the modern, unapologetic woman, the female Machiavelli. Because yes, women are meant to have Machiavellian traits when it comes to men. When it comes to this society, because it's a patriarchy. You're meant to act like a Machiavellian. Men aren't, because they will destroy the earth. Men aren't meant to do that because they will destroy everything in their path. That's why they need us. If it wasn't, they know it, because they would have terminated us. If it wasn't for them wanting to breed more men and them wanting to have like a bit of peace on earth, they would have gotten rid of us ages ago. But because they still need to use us for babies. Okay, and they use us for our energy. Female Machiavellian who refuses to shrink herself to fit society's mold. This book is a guide for ambitious women ready to command respect, navigate relationships with strategy, and embrace their true power. You're always meant to be strategic. Oh my God, the way my candle is burning. What? Why does my wick look like that? No. Do you see that? The wick. Look, let me put the brightness. So fat, like the wick burnt so fat. My ancestors are loving this message. Let me put the brightness up. So then what happened? Men copied us, okay? The Oprah meme. And men copied us. They saw the power, the magnetism, and they mirrored the energy like they always do. They stay mirroring our energy.
Don't be shocked. You're shocked? You're shocked?
The energy you're seeing right now is ours. Yes, women can get down like that. We get down. They've mirrored us. They always need someone to learn from. Who do you think they learn from? You need to awaken your dark femininity. And dark femininity, I'm not saying to be evil, because that's not what it's about. It's not about that, but you need to activate that chip. There needs to be an evil chip in your mind that you need to activate. But that shouldn't be your baseline. That's why law 2 of my book, embrace your dark side. Embrace your dark side, because they teach women not to, but men be embracing their dark side every freaking day. Like it's normal. But then when you do it, it's a bad thing. Every single time we see a woman embrace her dark side, every single time we see a dark feminine, because men don't like dark feminine. Most men don't like dark feminine because we make things harder for them. We have the power over them. We have the control over them. And they're actually embarrassed by that. Like they get embarrassed by that. We hold the mirror to them. We tell them that you don't have enough. We tell them that you're not good enough. We show it to them that there's men better than you. Every single time you reject a man, he feels insecure because he feels, oh, there's other men better than me. That's why there's some guys that they're so scared of rejection because they're so insecure. They'll never go up to you because they know that, oh, there's definitely men better than me. She definitely doesn't want to talk to me. She definitely there's men better than me around her. So then when they actually go around to you and you do reject them, it's proving that, which is right. It's true. Yes, there are men better than you. Get with the program. That's why we're here, because we're meant to make you a better man. But no, you're so weak that you want to actually belittle us instead of working on yourself. Yeah, because as a dark feminine, we rise their testosterone, we increase their testosterone and their challenge and their primordial energy. We do that. That's why I said, like, there's some guys that they like that. They like the woman that has mastered themselves. They like the woman that that chose the purple pill, the blue and the red, the combined, has mastered herself, the master key. When men mimic feminine narcissism, it always collapses because they don't carry the womb energy that can sustain that reflection. Like, their ego consumes it. It consumes them. Their ego will kill them. Then it becomes manipulation, domination, control. They don't know how to balance it. Why? Because it never came from them in the first place. So they're so jealous that we were controlling them. That's why they're so scared to get married, because marriage is just another form of like a matriarch. If you do it right, if you do it right, if you do it right. Marriage can be another form of a matriarch. And then men be like, I feel like I'm losing my control. Why? Because they know that we control them. So that's the end of the video. I really hope this video ended with you remembering your power, first of all. Okay, before we end the video, make sure to like this video. That way it helps push content out there so we can grow the community. Comment down below what you thought of the video. Do you practice female narcissism? Subscribe, it's free. Join the gem community. Make sure to sign up to the Patreon. I literally just posted a live video on how to communicate with your guardian angel. The Pretty Goddess Club Patreon, okay, for my goddesses. Gem of the week, there's 2 gems of the week. The first one is Taylor Phillips. Taylor Phillips. I try to find your username right now, so I can't find it while I'm filming. So I'm gonna post it as a picture. But I picked you because I just like the conversation we were having. I think it was on the community post, but I can't find it. Yeah, I like the communication that we're having. Also, Martine is a goddess. No, Martine is a dragon, because I seen you comment on this video. Okay, so shout out to you. Shout out to the person that got the answer right as well. And shout out to all the gems out there. Like, shout out to you guys. Like, each and every one of you. Everyone that has liked my videos. Everyone that has subscribed. Everyone that has left a comment on my video. I appreciate you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here right now. So I just wanted to show my gratitude. You guys definitely help making content easier, making it more enjoyable. You guys inspire me to make more content. I love this community over here. This is where we come to think outside the box, to think outside of societal norms, okay? This community is for the wise woman. It's for the wise, wild, free, untamed woman. Okay, guys? So once again, make sure to put your email down below to my website, Pretty and Charmed, to be the first to be notified when I come out with my spiritual cosmetics, charms, all those sort of things, okay? Make sure to grab my book on Amazon, How to Be a Bitch, guys. Even though I made the book last year and I've learned a lot since then, this book, I couldn't recommend it enough, okay? So I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.